Well, the Hamilton Oshawa Port Authority, HOPA, is coming off a huge year. In large part, that's because of improvements made at the sites. HOPA CEO Ian Hamilton joins us now with more. And you said that, this kind of success doesn't happen overnight. You started working on infrastructure improvements at the ports 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Around 2008, when the steel markets really softened, we recognized how vulnerable we were and how much we needed to diversify and look at other cargo mixes. And that's really when we started to make some capital investments around the agricultural area.
Okay, so you did things like adding in more rail, you added more warehouses in, and we actually have some time-lapse video of one of the warehouses going up very quickly. And this is for storage space, for transportation space.
Yeah, for sure. And in addition to the rail and that immediate transportation infrastructure, we added a lot of new capacity around the terminaling and the actual grain elevators that we could hold more grain. So we went from one grain elevator at that time to now we've got three different facilities operating grain terminals.
Okay. You also have a sugar refinery. That's the last time you were on here, just a few weeks ago, talking about that. So that's being built. It's being expanded. So tell me about that.
So a decade ago, Sucrocan came to us and said that we'd like to build a small sugar refinery on the port property, and we were quite delighted by it, and recognizing that at that time, really there was only two competitors in the market with Redpath Atlantic, and said let's see if we can't make a little space for a new entrant. 10 years down the road, they now have plans to build the largest sugar refinery in the country on port property, which is about a $135 million investment from their side, and then the assets that we'll put in are worth another $50 million.
Right, and this all helps out as agri-food gets bigger. It's going to help out our farmers as well, because now the produce from our farms is going around the world. A lot of it going by rail and ship.
100%. Canadian farm products are well respected all over the world. We continue to be able to, using technologies and precision farming, increase our productivity, so that market or that availability of crops continues to grow. And so pretty much anything that an Ontario farmer can produce can be exported that we don't use locally and consume ourselves. Right,
right. And it fills the gap, but steel is still the big business, right? Steel slabs, steel coils.
Yep, Hamilton is still a steel town, although we've seen a reduction overall in the steel volumes. 15 years ago, we did about 11 million metric tons. This year, we're doing about 11 million metric tons. The big difference is 15 years ago, 80% of it was steel, and this year, only 60% of it is steel.
Wow.
And that gap, that 20% has been replaced by agriculture.
Right. And you have the facilities now to do that because you were thinking ahead like 15 years ago.
Yeah, we were kind of using a quote from Gretzky. We were trying to figure out where the puck was going to be and started to make investments then that now we're seeing they're paying off for us today.
Right.
Which is fantastic.
How many jobs are created at not created, but how many people are working at the ports?
Yeah. So on our property, there's about 2,500, but that's only part of the story.
Yeah.
Right now, we consider there's about 38,000 jobs that are benefiting on, reliant on the $4.5 billion worth of cargo that comes through Hamilton every year. And
it's something we drive by on the highway every day, right? And you don't realize like how big of the city's economy, of the region's economy, is right at the water.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're just starting to work at now is containers that will deal with more consumer goods and products that people are more familiar with. But traditionally, we've really built our business around the raw materials that go into those materials, the iron and ore and the coal that makes the steel that ultimately becomes the automobile down the road.
Right.
But we really need to start to move into containers to start to see the finished goods coming through.
Okay, we got about a minute left, Ian. But like, what's the cargo future for Hamilton?
We believe that agriculture will continue to thrive. We love what Parrish and Heimbecker just made a recent announcement that they're going to expand their flour mill.
Yes.
And that's really adding value to the products that come through the port, similar to what the sugar refinery has done. But we also believe that the future for us is to take advantage of the capacity we have on our waterways and start to bring in containers. And by bringing in containers, that opens up a whole new market, and that'll allow us to start to distribute from there, take advantage of our waterways to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions from transportation, and also take advantage of the fact that there's so much congestion on the roads, and we can take some of that off the roads.
So much that's happening there that we don't even get to see. You get to see. You've got a front row seat to all of it. But yeah, I know that you're looking to expand into Niagara as well, of course, with the Welland Canal there, and so okay. It's a story to continue then. Ian Hamilton.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah,
Thanks.
CEO of HOPA. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll get the links up on our website, chch.com/morninglive.